Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm back with another client tutorial. This look is super requested. It's just like a nice pinky purpley glam. So if you want to see how I created it, then please keep on watching. So before I start on her face, I'm just going to start off by highlighting her décolletage area. This looks really pretty if you're wearing like a strapless dress or something with thin straps. So I'm taking this Cover FX liquid illuminator. It's in the shade Sunlight, and I'm just putting this like pretty much all over her chest and just blending it out with a brush just to give that area a really nice bronze glow. So once that's all blended out, I'm just taking this Fenty highlighter. This is one of the new ones. I can't remember the shade name yet, but I'll leave it down below. And I'm just putting that just over the areas where I put the liquid illuminator, just so it gives a little bit of extra glow. And it's really annoying because it's not really catching it on camera, but in person it looked really pretty. So now we're moving on to the face. So I'm taking the Fenty Beauty Primer. I love this primer. It really smooths out the whole face, and it goes really nicely with their foundation. And I'm also going to take a second primer. I usually like to take two because primers can do different things. So I'm taking the Laura Mercier Radiance Primer. This is my favorite primer of like all time. It just creates a really nice glow to the skin. And it's really nice if you're using, again, like a matte foundation and you just want that little bit of extra hydration. So now that her face is all prepped, I'm just going to let that sink in while I do her brows. So I'm mixing the shade Blonde and Taupe just to fill in her eyebrows. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. It's what I use on all my clients. I probably need a new one because this one I've like hit pan on so many shades. And yeah, she has quite thin brows and they're a bit sparse, so she just wanted them a little bit fuller. So that's what I'm doing here. So now that her brows are nice and filled in, I'm just going to carve them out with the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Custard. And I just start by doing the underneath of her brow just with like a flat concealer brush. And then I go around the tops of the brow as well. Now that the brows are nice and cleaned up, I'm taking the NARS, what is this called? NARS, it's like the eye base primer, and I'm taking the shade Light and Medium and just mixing the two together on her lid. This is a really nice eye primer. I think it just makes the shadows look really nice. It's more like of a concealer texture, and it's really full coverage as well. So if you have like veiny eyelids or anything like that, it covers them all up. So I'm just patting that in with a concealer brush, and I don't set this because it is an eye base. I prefer just to leave it tacky so the eyeshadows have something to stick onto. Okay, so the first shadow I'm taking, I forgot, like I have the little pan, but the packaging on the back has rubbed off. But all it is, it's pretty much like of a pinky brown, and I'm just running this through her outer corner and her crease, just as the transition shade. And then for the rest, I'm taking my Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm taking the shade Love Letter, and now I'm just building up the pink. So I place it in the outer corner first, and then blend it through the crease, just until it's as opaque as I want that shade. So as you can see, I built it up quite a bit. I just take a little bit of product and slowly build it up rather than taking all this product on my brush, because it blends more seamlessly. And now I'm taking this Venetian bread, I don't know if that's how you say it, and this has more of like a reddy undertone. So again, I'm just running that in the exact same areas through the crease and the outer corner. So next I'm taking this really beautiful like deep reddy shade from the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill Vault Collection palette, and again I'm just placing this in the outer corner and also through the crease, just a bit lower down, just to add some more depth. Once again, I love this shade. I feel like it just is the perfect like reddy pink. And then next, to deepen up the outer corner, I'm taking this shade here, which is a nice like deep like burgundy shade, and I'm just mainly focusing this in the outer corner just to add some smokiness. And then I'll also blend the remaining product through the crease as well, just to get it a bit more dramatic. So next I'm going to take a little bit of black. This is just from the Soft Glam palette, and I'm just focusing this on the very outer corner just to add another like layer of color and make that outer corner super nice and smoky. So I just use a really small blending brush and take really small amounts of product at a time. You don't want to grab a whole heap of black because then it can ruin all that blending that you've done beforehand. So just, yeah, I'm just slowly blending it up and then taking my other brushes as well just to make sure it's nice and seamless. And now once that's all nice and blended, I'm just taking these two shades from the Modern Renaissance palette and just using that to highlight her brow bone. If it ain't money, then wrong number. Black card is my business card. The way it be setting the tone for me. I don't need a brag, but I be like, put it in the... After I highlight my client's brow bone, I also like to just take a clean blending brush just to make sure the edges are all blended and there's no harsh lines. So now moving on to cutting the crease. So I'm taking the Too Faced glitter glue. Yeah, this is Too Faced. The NYX one is also really good, and just a flat concealer brush. And I'm just going to start cutting her crease. I left in majority of this part so you guys can see how I do it and where I map it out. So I hope this makes it easy for you guys to see. So now that both creases are cut, I'm taking this Inglot pigment in 119. So super pretty rose gold. It's got like a nice pink and gold reflect to it. And with the glitter glue, as you can see, none of it is chunky. Like, you want to make sure it's nice and smooth. So when you go over with the pigment, it just adheres really nicely, and there's no like chunks of pigment on her eye or chunks of glitter glue. And again, I'm just doing little patting motions with the same brush. So now that I've packed on the pigment nice and opaque, I'm taking a mixture of the shades I used through her crease, and as you can see, like quite like not rough, but I'm just blending that outer corner just so it's got a nice seamless edge. You don't want a harsh line of where the pigment ends and where like the matte shadows end. So I'm just doing back and forth motions, going from the lighter crease colors to the darker crease colors, just to create a nice gradient from the shimmer to the outer corner. Because we've used glitter glue as a base, like with the blending, the glitter and like the pigment isn't going to flick off everywhere, so don't be afraid to actually blend it out. And now I'm just going to be lining her lash line. So I'm taking the Maybelline Eye Studio liner and the Inglot 31T brush and just doing a thin line across her lid. So now that majority of the eyes are done, I'm going to be taking the Bioderma micellar water, and I'm just taking some on a little cotton pad just to clean up that edge and get a really nice crisp line. It makes the biggest difference in the world after you clean up your eyeshadow, as you guys can see. So yeah, I'm just doing that to both sides. And then for lashes, I'm going to be taking these MLB lashes. I'll leave the Instagram down below in the shade, in the style Yvette. Is that how you say it? I feel like that's wrong. I feel like some letter there is meant to be silent. But anyway, so now we're moving on to foundation. The skin's already nice and prepped. So I'm mixing the Fenty Beauty foundation and the NARS Natural Radiant foundation. This combo is really nice because I feel like the Fenty is quite matte and can be a bit drying. So when you mix it with the NARS, it just gives the most beautiful finish. The Fenty is in the shade 290 and the NARS is in the shade Stromboli. So as you can see, this does look quite yellow undertoned. But once I bronze up her face and set it with powders and everything, it'll blend in really nicely with her fake tan. Oh, and to blend it out, by the way, I'm just using my Real Techniques foundation brush. I love it. I have like 10 of these because they're just so good. So and also when I blend in foundation, I like to do nice little like patting motion so we don't get any streaks. And now for concealer, so I'm taking this Tarte Shape Tape. I actually mixed 2 shades, so I mixed the shade medium and then the shade fair just to get a nice like color to suit her. And I'm just placing that underneath her eyes, forehead, down her nose, Cupid's bow and chin, just with my Model Rock base maker sponge. So now to set her under eyes, I'm taking my Laura Mercier translucent powder and I'm just pressing that underneath with the same sponge. I love this powder so much. I don't think I could ever like use something to replace it. It's just too good. So yeah, I'm just focusing that on the areas where she gets oily and her under eyes. And then for the rest of her face, I'm taking, of course, my MAC Studio Fix powder. This is in the shade NC35. And just like a big, nice, fluffy brush. Because this powder does have more of like a pinky neutral undertone, it's going to make the foundation look less yellow. And now I'm going to be bronzing her face. So I'm taking the MAC Give Me Sun bronzer, of course. And this is just a peaches and cream brush. And I'm bronzing like literally everywhere. I love bronzer. So yeah, I'm putting it on her cheeks, her forehead, her nose, underneath the lips, just anywhere where I want there to be some nice warmth. So now that she's all nice and bronzed up, I'm taking some blush, and this is NARS Taj Mahal. It does look like a scary blush, but it's the most beautiful color, especially if you like using MAC Give Me Sun. It just blends in so nicely. It's got like beautiful gold reflex through it, so I'm just using like a nice fluffy brush to put that on her cheeks and blend it back into the bronzer. And then I'm just cleaning up that bronzer with the same Laura Mercier powder. And now to highlight, I'm taking that same highlighter that I used before. Here's the shade name. So yeah, so I'm taking a mixture of both and placing this on her cheekbones, above her brow, down her nose, Cupid's bow and chin. Also, I take another highlighter as well to go on top, which you'll see in a second, which is the Doll Beauty highlighter, just because this one, because it's of more of a darker shade, it wasn't as vibrant as I wanted it. So I like to layer my highlighters if I want a bit more of a pop. So yeah, after this you'll see me take the Doll Beauty one to put on top. So next I'm just going to be brushing off that bake with the same big fluffy powder brush, and then I wanted to add a little bit more bronzer, and I realized I just got the new Fenty, one of the new Fenty bronzers in the shade Island Tings, which I love that name. And it's just a super, like, the packaging is so nice, it's so gold, and it's like a super warm, like it's similar to Give Me Some, but it's more of a neutral undertone. So next I'm taking the Too Faced Sugar Peach Wet and Dry palette, and I wanted to add, I'm taking the shade mainly Peach Pop, because I wanted a more pinky shade to go with the eyeshadow, as the other blush was a bit more orangey. So yeah, I'm just putting a bit more of this on, and again, this has some nice glow in it, so just putting that mainly on the apples of her cheeks and brushing it back. And then here I'm just setting her brows with the Benefit Gimme Brow, which is just a clear brow gel. And now I'm moving on to finishing off the underneath of her eye. So I'm taking again that reddy pinky like burgundy shade, running that underneath her eye, and then I'll go on with the darker colors as well and just make like run the same shade so it's nice and smoky to match the top. And then I'm just going to highlight her inner corner just with the highlighter, the Doll Beauty one I used before. Just a nice champagne shade. And now I'm taking the Lash Sensational Mascara by Maybelline. And I'm just coating her top and bottom lashes to make sure they are nice and black. So now that the eyeshadow is done, I'm just brushing off any remainder of like the bake or if there was any eyeshadow fallout just with a clean brush. And then we're going to be moving on to lips. So I'm taking this Morphe lip liner in the shade Sweet Tea just to line her lips. Now that her lips are lined, I'm taking the shade Yash by MAC. This is like my favorite nude lipstick. I think it just goes so well on everyone. So I'm just taking that on a lip brush and filling in her lips. And then because I want a nice glossy lip, I'm taking the Peaches and Cream gloss in the shade Bambi and just putting that straight over the top. So now that we're pretty much all done, I'm just going to be setting her face with the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I love this because it's not like you do individual, comes out like a hairspray, which is really, really cool, and it's a super fine mist. And now because I'm all about that glow, I'm taking this iconic Prep Set and Glow in the original shade, so I'm just giving it a shake and then spraying that all over her face and her décolletage area as well. So this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I love this look so much. I think it's so beautiful if you want a pop of color but it's not too dramatic. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye!